So it is appointed unto every man on earth to die once. Rest in Uhuru Jawara McIntosh. Jawara McIntosh is the son of the great Peter Tosh, reggae legend, legalize it, advocate for marijuana, Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh, the legend, has passed on a couple of years now, and now his son. When this first happened though, we also covered this on SouFLoTV. So we covered when the incident happened, when he was first arrested. Then we covered what happened during his arrest and sentence and serving time. And then we also covered after he was released. And now we are covering an update that is not such a happy update. Everyone was hoping for a recovery, a full recovery, at least on a level where he would be functional and still able to enjoy more life here on earth with us. But it was not to be so. So everybody has said, SouFlo, yeah, talk for about 2 minutes now. What really happened to the youth? So for those of you who have missed it, let me rehash the story a little bit, because Rolling Stone actually covered this as well. So if all had gone as planned, Jawara McIntosh would be home in Dorchester, Massachusetts, legally using cannabis as part of his Rastafarian faith, enjoying the early summer with his 4 children, perhaps working on new music. You know, music, the father never fall, the apple never fall far from the tree. The son, Jawara, took up music just like his dad, walking in his father's footsteps. So he was somewhat of a political activist through his music, right? And many are saying that now he has been martyred for the cause of the legalization of marijuana, as well as for the cause of prison reform. Now, on February 21st of 2017, the young musician and the marijuana activist, who is also the son of the legendary reggae music icon Peter Tosh, had sustained traumatic brain injury. This happened during an attack at the hands of a man named Kyrie Charon Baum, a fellow prisoner at the Bergen County Jail in Hackensack, New Jersey, where McIntosh was serving the final 6 months of a 1-year sentence for the possession of marijuana. He cannot speak or move with intent. His family visits often, singing, praying, hanging photos of his children around the walls, around his bed, along with the many Bible verses that he spoke of with his sister Nyembe McIntosh on the phone from jail, where other inmates called him blessed in recognition of his spiritual practice. See? Now, they said that he would call me from the jail and he would say, "Hey, Nyembe, his sister, can you read the scripture for me?" His sister tells Rolling Stone that his nightly routine with his children included reading the Bible together from his jail cell with his one phone call. And he kept it up while incarcerated with his sister's help. She fondly describes a devoted father who had a way with his children, saying that Jawara's nieces and nephews and many other family members, the young ones especially, friends as well, called him Uncle Tosh. Drawn to his magnetic personality, people always gravitated towards him, recalling their childhood in Boston, walking to school together. I would be beatboxing while he was making up freestyles as we walked to the bus stop. And the next chapter, that was DJing together. I was the mastermind, and I would figure out which song would be played next. But he was the one who captivated the audience. Now, McIntosh's mother, which is Melody Cunningham, remembers an outward bound trip to Colorado where he was a teenager that left a deep impression. There's no water, there's no light, There's nothing. You have to survive on your own, said Cunningham. When he got home, he said, wow, I really learned to appreciate my bed, mommy. The McIntosh family had filed a lawsuit against the Bergen County Jail for failing to protect Jawara and is requesting that they release a full report, including any video or audio evidence of what actually happened to him in February of 2017. To this date, the family has received only a brief report that they characterize as a single paragraph. His sister also started a change.org petition seeking an investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice into the incident. The sheriff's office continues to work with the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office to make sure that justice is accomplished for the family and to make sure that these things don't happen again, says William Chevella, Director of Communications for the Bergen County Sheriff Office. Now, people, this is what happened. This brother was picked up on a non-violent offense. You know, it is so sad to see all these people that got all these prison times for marijuana only to have that same state a few years later turn around and legalize marijuana within their constituency. So here he was, a Rastafarian by faith, from birth till 37 years old. Never ever had a charge of violence, was never known to anyone to ever be violent. He was a working, touring musician, a married man with 4 children, right? And they decided to give him a year for the marijuana that was found in his possession. That violent individual either was given orders to kill him, to beat him to death in there, or it just happened because the person he was placed with is a troubled person. Prison is a nice place. When you go to prison, you see, I've seen before videos and documentaries. I remember one particular youth, a young youth, he was 19 years old, trying to work his way up out of poverty, and this youth is working 2 full-time jobs, one at day and one at night. He was working so hard that he actually forgot that his license plate needed to be renewed, right? So he's driving from one job to the next job and he's pulled over. Now, instead of them giving him a citation and saying, make sure you have this taken care of, you can't move the car from here because you're operating it illegally since the plate is expired, we will drop you to work. Tow that vehicle. You will have to pay for the towing. You know what I'm saying? Deal with him like a human. No, he was dragged from his car, handcuffed, brought down to one of the worst jails in Miami, Florida. And within 2 hours of being in there, he had a broken jaw and a broken right arm. Within 2 hours of being in. So prison is no nice place for anybody. You understand? You are in there with people that really have issues. Psychopaths, sociopaths, crazy, experienced murderers. You're sitting in the same cell with these people and you are only in there because you had a little marijuana on you. And this is exactly the fate that Peter Tosh's son, Jawara, met. Now, let me say this. He was pulled over in New Jersey, June 15th of 2013, okay? And he had 65 pounds of marijuana in his car. Now, after spending more than 6 months in jail, then being released on a $200,000 bond, he pled to possession with intent to distribute and took a 1-year sentence in August of 2016, leaving him with 6 months to serve. And he spent the fall working on various music projects, and then he turned himself in. They actually gave him a date to turn himself in, and he turned himself in to the Bergen County Jail, January of 2017, to finish the 6-month sentence. Now, Tully said that Jawara would have preferred to fight against what he saw as the unjust criminalization of the cannabis in an open court, but that the plea deal made the most sense in the face of a 5 to 10 year mandatory minimum sentence that he was facing. So he just pled guilty and took the 6 months. He was fighting his case as a activist. Okay? He was fighting his case as an activist for the right for those who use marijuana as a religious sacrament to be able to do so without being criminalized. And let me say this also. A lot of people are going to say, yeah man, I understand all that still, but 65 pounds in the car though, that's a whole heap of weed in a brother. That sound definitely like sales and distribution to me. That not sound like no personal use. Well, neither here nor there at this point, because the brother, as we know it, is no longer with us. But that was to just get everybody up to terms as to what's going on or has been going on and what led to this point. Again, I close this video out by repeating, it is appointed unto every man to die once in this lifetime. Jawara McIntosh, son of the great, the legendary Peter Tosh, is no longer with us. Rest in Uhuru, Jawara. Fly with the ancestors, my brother. I'm out. Peace.